Yep.
All good? Yep.
Okay.
So Ken, looking like they're going unchanged for Saturday's game?
No, we'll have a couple of changes, unfortunately. We'll have Darcy Byrne-Jones will miss. Darcy was late for a training session this week, so he won't be selected. And Tom Jonas, unfortunately, we've just finished training. He hasn't quite come up, so he looks like he's going to miss as well.
So that'll be a Homsch in for Jonas, I presume?
Yeah, Jack Homsch will come in for Jonas. And the good news story is Jack Trengove will play his first game for Port Adelaide. Really thoroughly deserved game, so we look forward to Jack getting out there at the G and having a go.
What was his reaction?
As you can imagine, he was fairly excited. So, he's worked really hard. As I've said, for a long period of time now, he's busting for a game. He deserves a game. He's done more miles than most of us. He's been to China, he's been to Perth, and he's been to Tasmania. He's just not played. So, the great part about that is he gets to play.
So actually his teammates would have been pretty pleased for him as well?
Yeah, as you'd imagine. Anyone that works as hard as Jack does, they all get up and about for when he gets his moment.
So Darcy dropped because he was late for the training camp?
Yeah, he was late to training, yeah. So we've got our leadership group and us as coaches, we're building a really strong culture around what's expected. And, Darcy understands that, he accepts that, he's disappointed, but that's just the way it goes.
I was going to say, I think 56 games since his debut, so he'd be pretty shattered. But I guess you're trying to set their elite standards, so to speak.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we understand. Darcy, such a professional in everything he does. He's been such a good player for us. So, yeah, we'll certainly miss him, but there's a level that you have to commit to. And, we talked about that after the game last Friday as a group. So we understand what it means to be a part of the group at the moment.
Not sure it's something you want to go into, but is there a reason he was late, or was he just late?
No, it was just late. It was just a simple mistake. It was as simple as that. There's nothing more in it. There's no mystery about it. You know what I'm like. I tell you the facts. That's the facts.
Tom, just the sort of injury that he had a couple of weeks
ago. It's his hamstring that's been playing up for him, and he's been able to get through games. He just hasn't quite felt 100%. And again, even just out here at training this morning, he's felt the same sort of way. I said, mate, this is not getting us where we want to go. He's such a valuable part of our team and incredibly important, but we just can't take the risk. And if we play him this week and he ends up missing 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, we'd be really kicking ourselves.
I suppose it's nice for you to have a reasonably ready-made replacement.
Yeah, well, Jack Homsch has been unlucky not to be in the side, but you don't replace all Australian defenders easily, and Tom Jonas has been one of them.
But it's a niggling injury with Jonas? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it has been. It's been there for, probably 3 or 4 weeks, but nothing that you say you can't play with, but you get to a point where you go, this is continually playing up on him, and he gets three-quarter time and he's starting to feel it. Well, at some stage something's going to give big time. At the moment, we're probably dealing with a low-grade injury. We just don't want to turn into a disaster.
Just a hamstring, isn't it?
Yeah, just a hamstring, yeah.
About the Blues, Kenny, are they tough to read, or do you know you're going to?
Oh, no, their form's been really solid without winning over the last month. They had the first half against Freo, which obviously was pretty disappointing for them, but other than that, they've had, I think, Collingwood, Sydney, and who else they get in that run? Geelong. So they played 3 really good teams and, really pushed them right to the end, and we know we're going to do our absolute best to play, as you are every week, regardless whether it's Carlton or any other team you play. You have to get your best.
We talk a lot about stopping individuals on other teams. Paddy Cripps, he appears to be a different beast entirely at the moment. Is he someone you can stop? The form he's in and the type of player he is? He's
a pretty good player. But Curnow we've seen last week too. There's some excitement there at Carlton that they're looking at, I'm sure. But us, it's team against team. It's not one against one player. It's and Paddy. He has to go up against a pretty big midfield in our group too. So it'll be a real challenge for everyone.
Is that where you sort of win it? You win it with Paddy starting and going from there, as opposed to, or can Cripps read the opposition to get out?
There's more than Cripps, that's my point. There's just more than Cripps. Murphy, whether he comes back in or not, they've got a great young midfield as well. There's plenty of talent. Kernow's in there as well, so there's plenty of players in amongst that Carlton midfield. But Cripps is a star, we all know that, and we respect him for that, but we're going to go out there and try and make it pretty hard on him.
What's the belief like, Ken? It was such a character-building win against Melbourne. You looked on the canvas, you got back up, you won, top 4, fancy as well. What's it done to belief in the group, you think?
Just winning helps you, doesn't it? I mean, in big games helps you. We've had 3 weeks at home where we've been, on show a bit, and we've held our end of the bargain up pretty well. Sometimes in a real positive way. Last week was just a really mature performance, I reckon, because we've done that to other sides where the entry count goes and it goes against you, and we stood up really well last week, I thought, and probably been, we've been pretty pleased with that effort. I think you play a high quality side, and you've got every opportunity for them to beat you, and you defend with your life, and you find a way to win. It was great work.
I imagine Jonas probably would have gone to Charlie Kerner maybe if he had a played. So do you give that job just straight for Jack 1-for-1, or you?
Yeah, we've got 3 talls. We've got Homsch, we've got Cleary, and we've got Howard. So we've got 3 options down there now. Depending on where he goes, how high up the ground he goes, we won't disrupt our structure. We'll play the structure that we want to play.
Bit of a danger game, you think, Cam?
Everyone is. That's what. As a coach, you spend every week thinking about it being a danger game and thinking about just getting 4 points and doing absolutely you can, because the comps, look at it again, look at the ladder, you go, gee, there's no room for error for anyone, and we've just got to keep turning up each week and playing the same brand of football, which I think we've done pretty consistently now over a 4 or 5 week period.
But given the way you played recently, obviously, beating Melbourne last week, beating Richmond a few weeks ago, you knocked off some big scalps, and the next 6 weeks, it probably opens up a little bit for you guys. Are you sort of trying to keep the guys sort of level-headed and knowing they've just got to keep doing the job week in, week out?
No, I think the good thing about us as a group at the moment is we understand what we're talking about when we talk about being unconditional. That's the way we expect to play and we want to play every week. And I think you don't, when you break through that phase where you drop in and out of that space, you become a pretty good side. We're still trying to figure out whether we've broken through yet.
What about the MCG? First time there this year, I think you get another run later in the year. Nice opportunity to get to where the big games are played at the end of the year.
Yeah, we love going to the G. Everyone does, don't they? Every club in the land loves playing at the MCG, and we look forward to the opportunity. We've got, we play pretty well there usually, so we look forward to the open big spaces that it provides us with, and hopefully we just play well and we come home with 4 points.
Have you had any more feedback from the AFL in the space of trialling the new rules, Ken?
No, not yet.
You're hoping to soon?
Look, we will. We'll get informed at the right time. There's no doubt about that. We just need to make sure we get plenty of opportunity to see things.
What about when you hear that the teams out west have had a crack at it? Do you sort of pick up the phone and go?
No, I don't. I'll let Chris take care of that stuff, and look forward to the opportunity to. We get chances to see it, and some of the things that they're trialling, but and we will be informed at the right time.
Is that the thing with Chris sort of on that circle there? Do you sort of know a little bit of what is going on without actually seeing?
Oh, I know. I think he's on the committee, but I don't know about the adjustments of the rules and stuff like that may happen, or the zones that might go with it. So we just look forward to what they are and get some information come our way.
You're heading across early tonight, and Ken, obviously to watch Richmond, Sydney, but going to catch up with Gil for a coffee tomorrow.
I don't know. Gil, I'll see what he's doing. I'll give him a call. But no, not for me. Gil and I have a great relationship, but we don't need to have coffee. I don't like coffee.
What about scouting Sydney and Richmond though? Obviously that must be a great game tonight. 2 teams you think you might have to play later on?
It's like everyone. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a cracking game. The 2 best teams in the competition probably. West Coast are probably very, very close, but we look forward to seeing the 2 good teams go at it and see what's in front of you, hopefully.
Having said that, the 2 best performed teams at the moment, is that your impression of the league, that it's the teams that are performing at the right time?
Yeah, I think it's really close. I do think it's a really close competition. I said West Coast bar, they've lost a couple of key players in their last game, and they've got a big game this week themselves. So I think the competition is so close that being the best performed team right now, whether you're going to be the best performed team when it counts, I'm not quite sure. But when you see 2 good teams go at it, you actually see the intensity rise. You see the style of football that everyone loves watching, really tight, tough, contested brand of football, and you know what's coming.
And Ken, there you go.
So given it's so close, given the teams are so close, the idea of changing rules, does it appeal to you at all? If things are so close and they're going so well, why would you change all the rules?
Not sure.
When you said the timing was everything in terms of when what time is good for this club? Do you have to know 6 weeks out from the draft this is what's happening, or do you need to know a week out from the draft? Because it does alter things.
I think the facts are we've got some understanding that there's going to be some type of change, so we're thinking about that all the time, but we're looking at the players, and going down to the games tomorrow in Geelong, the 2 under-18 games tomorrow, and you're going to look at highly talented young players. That's the main thing you're going to look for, and we'll make do with what we have to make do with.
Just on Trengo, just tell us what you've been impressed with since he's arrived at the club. Obviously, he was looking for a second chance. You gave him a crack, and
really simple with Jack. When I first met with Jack at my place, it was about I want a Monday to Friday player, and that seems a bit silly for a football coach, but I wanted a Monday to Friday player more than a game day player. I wanted someone who was going to be prepared to come in and work really hard, help young people improve their games. If that meant playing for the Magpies, I'll do that, and if it means I'll just work really hard and see where that ends, if I get a chance, that's great, but I'm not here purely and simply just to play every game of football. I'm here to try and make my career last longer. And he accepted that. And he accepted that with open arms, and as I said, the amount of things that he's done for us already in a short period of time, he's a great story for us as a football club. I just hope he goes out and plays the way he would like to. It doesn't mean, you know, he's going to be guaranteed a game the week after or the next week. It's just a matter of, you know, it's an opportunity, and Jack will embrace it like that. I think you'll see it as a great opportunity.
Does he play a more defensive role?
Well, he can play. That's the great thing about him. He's quite flexible. He's played in the back line for us against the Magpies. He's played inside midfield. He's been on the wing in the Magpies, and he's played forward. So he gives us great flexibility, which is really important to a coach.
So filling that Darcy role is something that he does, but also maybe a couple of other people do?
Yeah, we've still got 6 defenders, and we've got other options in those spaces. If you've watched us through the last little bit, you know, at times there will have been Ebert, there will have been a Westhoff, there will have been a Motlop even, there will be a Trengove, there's Polak's played there at half-back for us. So we've got plenty of opportunities down there.
And Jade Simpson, 300 games for him. First of all, speak on him.
He's a great player, isn't he? I love watching him play myself. You know, he's been such a durable player, and he's worked through some pretty tough times. So just, you know, I hope he has a great 300th game, but just doesn't play too well, and you know, he can celebrate his career later on. And you know, but look, you just love seeing the champs reach those milestones. It's such an enormous milestone to get to. Great work to Cade, and I, you know, wish him all the best.
And in your experience as a coach and player, do teams sort of, can they get a lift from this, or is that all just talk?
Oh no, I think it's reasonable that you've got a warrior of your football club who's been such a great servant that you want to give everything you possibly can. But once the game starts and gets going for a bit, you know, maybe it settles down pretty quickly.
Just to clarify, was it the first training session that Darcy's missed since he's been at the club?
Yep.
And can you confirm which day it was?
Monday
this week, and how late was he?
He was just late.
Did his alarm didn't go off?
That's exactly. Without going into all the details, that's basically what happened. Darcy's, you know, he's a really diligent player. We know that, but if you want a strong culture, you have to create it.
And Jonas, is he more than a week, or you're unsure?
Shouldn't be more than a week, but who knows? We've been battling with it a little bit, but we expect it'll be only a week.
And does Darcy come straight back in?
Yeah, well, he's available to come straight back in, yeah. And he's a pretty good player, so he needs to play his role well for the Magpies on the weekend.